Yep. Good morning, everyone. So, yesterday we learnt about some basics related to images. So, we started learning about images. First, let me give you the yesterday's summary part of images. Actually, we learnt about image types supported for web. What are the image types supported for web? I given a list of them. We have APNG, PNG, JPEG, GIF, TIFF, BMP, ICO, SVG, and WebP. These are the image types. Yesterday I explained when to use these type of images. When you are trying to display some images meant for downloading, then you have to use PNG or APNG. APNG additionally have animation. It have animations, but they have high definition. They occupy more space in the memory. If you want to provide some photos which user can download and watch them, then you can go with PNG. If you want to display some images on screen, then better go with JPG. Why? Because JPG is a compressed format. It reduces the size of image. So if you are designing bullets, icons, then better go with what? GIF. Logos, bullets, lines and all GIF. And yesterday we discussed one more, SVG. SVG is for scalar vector graphics. It is which type? XML. It is XML image. What is the advantage of vector graphics when compared to pixel? High resolution. Even when you increase the zoom percent, the quality of image will be same, right? So this is SVG. And example application areas, I told you architectural diagrams, lengthy, like you see maps, all are designed icons. They are designed using what? SVG. You have a few more things to discuss here. Yesterday we discussed those points. So we have another one is a TIFF. So when to use this TIFF? Actually, what is the concept of TIFF is? Already we discussed that it is tagged image file format. Usually TIFF is used, it is a sliced image format, mostly used for scanned documents. Which one? This number yesterday's 5. We are continuing that. So it is sliced image format, mostly used for scanned documents. But these days we don't prefer this very much. These days we are not using this very much directly, because these days everybody wants compressed. Compressed means JPG. For example, you are filling some application form for some universities, colleges, some passports, visas. You need to upload your certificates. Then usually what we do? Scan. You have a scanner, na? We have a scanner device. By using the scanner device, we can scan. So have you seen scanner, how it works? Have you ever seen the scanner? Scanner have a laser light. It will move from top to bottom. And when you observe while a document is being scanned, you will see that part by part image will be scanned. Complete image is not scanned at a time. Part by part, it will scan. That means it slices the image and later it joins. This type of image formats are called as what? TIFF. Usually, this is seen in scanned documents. But these days, nobody asks directly to upload those documents. They say that, okay, you scan, then convert them into JPG and upload, right? Finally, everybody wants which format? JPG. But directly TIFF also works. But why we don't prefer? Because it will take time. It loads slowly, part by part, right? So this is for scanned documents. We can use this format called TIFF. Usually it will have extension, as I already showed you, dot what? TIFF. It will have extension TIFF. I given that extension yesterday. Another important format for image is BMP. Actually, it is a binary format. It is binary format image. So actually we call as bitmap, binary format. So these also not recommended these days. Binary format means, for example, suppose we want to store a photo in some database. In a database, we can't store photo directly because database can store any object in the form of binary 0101 like that. Then what we have to do? We have to upload the photo which can be easily converted into binary. Bitmap is already in binary. Then if you want to save photos in a database which are good in binary format, then BMP is recommended. You save any picture in BMP form, it is very easy to be converted into binary. But these days, why people are not using this? Because converting from binary to object, again object to binary, is blocked by firewalls. You know, your computer have a firewall. Windows firewall will be there. That firewall prevents your computer from lot of viruses that come through internet. And when firewalls are on, then sometimes the binary conversions are blocked. They will not allow to convert into binary form. That's the reason we don't recommend binary form. These days, how people store images is they maintain a folder. In the folder, they keep all the images. And the path they will use in database. Database will not contain image. It will contain the image path. Image path is a string type. It can directly refer to that image. It can access and use. But still, when you are learning technologies like Java, .NET, sometimes you will learn, they will teach you how to convert a picture into binary and store in database. In the modern web generation, we don't prefer that much. What we prefer is referring a virtual path. Keep all your resources in a cloud and refer from that cloud path so that it is easy. So usually that is BMP. BMP is what? Binary format, binary form. One more important ICO already we learned. So ICO, it is used for icons, mostly like fav icons. For icons like fav icons, you can use this ICO. Another one, recently you see WebP. WebP is nothing but it is image embedded into page. So that you cannot directly save image. You cannot directly save image. That is one good security. These days, everybody is using this. Actually, all these days, many times what people have facilities when they see some photo in a website, they will simply right click on it. They will save that photo. But these days, what websites are doing is they are giving images in a format in such a way that when you right click and try to save the image, it will not save the image. It will save entire page. That is good. That means you are not allowing user to save the complete image. So complete page is saved. Complete page is saved. That is a good security for images. These days you will see that very much. For example, you see, suppose we have Flipkart, and in Flipkart, suppose we are having mobiles, and in the mobiles yesterday we designed this. I want to save this picture. Then I will right click and save image as. Save image as, then you can see it is showing WebP. That is the new format of images these days people are using. That means now image is not saved. Complete page is saved. If complete page is saved, he cannot pick the image. That is the problem. So this is good advantage for images to keep them secured in the web pages. These days people are using this format very well. So it is an image embedded into page so that you cannot directly save image, right? What it will do is it saves entire page. It saves entire page. So these are all different types of image types. So I think now you got a clarity on which type of images to use. So all these days we just know images, but we are not completely sure about their functionality. That means which is correctly fitted, where to use it, we don't know that. For that, you need to understand these points. Now, once you know what are the type of images and what is their purpose, now the question is how to put an image in a web page. So we will learn embed image into page. How we can embed image into page. Embedding is nothing but making a part of page. That means integrating. The concept of embedding is nothing but integrating into page, making it as a part of page. How to embed image into page? HTML provides IMG token for embedded images. HTML provides IMG token for embedded images. We have to just use this IMG. Now this IMG is used for images and it have some important attributes. What are the attributes for image? First is SRC. It defines the path and name of image. So which image you want to display, its name and path you have to define by using SRC. Here some important questions also there. I will explain after this. So SRC, it defines the path and name of image, which image you want to keep. For example, let's go to our page. I will do one thing here. I will open a snipe tool. This is a sniping tool. In Windows, you have a sniping tool from where we can capture this image. I am copying this image here. Okay, now I will save this image in our project folder. D Flipkart images, public images. In that we have some Realme. Okay, this is the image. Close. Now we want to use this image in our page. So let's open our project. So in this, so here we are keeping the image in this page. This is the Flipkart product we designed. And let's run this page. And this is the page. This is the original size. We need to keep an image left. Then let's go here in the first product. We have the left panel. This div, we put an img. SRC indicates image. It is present in images. It is realme.jpg. And you can see that image is kept here. So now we completed the scenario. That means we have an image displayed here. To display images in a web page, we have to use img element. In that, what is the attribute here? Same, I want same image, but it is a different capacity. Image is same. I am using image src images realme.jpg, and you can see the same images here. So to display images, we have to use this option. That is what src is. It defines the path. So we have an image src, some images, some pic.jpg, something. That is the first attribute. Second important attribute while working with images is alt. It defines the alternative text to display when image fails to load. It defines alternative text to display when image fails to load. Actually, sometimes image cannot load. Why image cannot load? So many reasons will be there. Sometimes server is not responding. Sometimes you are disconnected with server. Sometimes your browser have disabled images. Browser also can disable images. For example, do you know these days when any company sends you an email, in that email some images are present? They don't show images directly. Have you seen? They don't show images directly. They say that this mail contains some images. Do you want to view? Have you seen that? Right? So generally, when you are browsing any website, if you are a professional and you want only that content to read, that means I am opening a website to read all the content it have. I am not worried about the pictures they are having. So if there are so many pictures along with content, it will take so much time for a page to load, because it have to load images and all. Generally, what professional people do is, when they have such requirement of only reading document, they don't want images, then they disable images in browser. Browser gives a facility. What you can do is, in the browser, currently I am using Edge browser. Here open Edge:/settings. We are opening Edge settings. Chrome settings, Edge settings, you can open same. Now in the Edge settings, you search here. There is a search box in Edge settings. I will search for images. When I search for images, it shows a result for that. This is images, and images show all. Here I will turn off. That means I don't want to show images. Why they have given this option? Because everybody don't want to view images in the website, because that makes too much burden on the page to load. Because they are not at all concerned about those images, they are concerned about only document reading. In that case, they do this regularly. They disable images. When images are disabled, when I refresh this page, image will not be there. That means now sometimes you people may think that disconnected, or you may think like there is problem in the website. No, it is problem in your browser. That means your browser can disable images, right? So then what we do is we put some alternative text. We will indicate that. So here we will put an alternative text saying that please enable images on your browser, something like this. We can display some message. And usually if I do that, or so here in another one, I am using another alternate text. Simply I am giving here as image here like this. And you see that that alternate text will display. Instead of image, an alternate text will come, so that we can clearly tell the user that this is not our problem, this is your site problem. Because people who are using internet always complain on website without knowing that their machine have some issues sometimes. That means their browser is not having proper settings. They may be using old version browser. So they may be having less memory in the browsers due to lot of cookies and all. Due to that, websites usually perform slow. Because generally website developers do lot of testing and release website. That means they already perform lot of testing. They have performed the performance, means performance testing. They checked that it is working fine, then only they release. Right? And suddenly you come and complain that it's not working, your website is slow. That is not the problem from server side every time. It may be some problem your side. Then it is developer's responsibility to educate user that this is the problem your side, please enable this. For that we have such attributes. Now remember, this message will not be displayed if image is there. Suppose I am having image, means enable image. I enable images and refresh, and you can see now it's okay. So if image is unable to load, in that place you can have an alternate text, right? Syntactically we write like this: image source images slash, so pic.jpg and alt. So please enable images on your browser, something. That's how we define. So one is src, another one is alt. We have another important in the attributes. We have title. It defines the tooltip to display when mouse pointer is over image. Title is another important attribute, and title is used to display some tooltip when user moves his mouse pointer onto that image. So alternate text will display only when image is not there. If image is not there, then alternate text. If image is there, you cannot see that alternate text. Tooltip means it will display some tips about image when mouse pointer is over. For example, here for this image I am using, already I told you in HTML tags attributes don't have any order. You can write any attribute anywhere, right? They don't have order. I am using title. I am saying that suppose some 30% off on Realme mobiles. Like this I given. And you can see that when I move the mouse onto that, the tip will come. That is the tooltips. When user moves the mouse onto it, a tooltip will come. So that is title. So what is difference between alt and title? Alt is not tooltip. Alt is the message to show when image is not there. And this title is the message to show when mouse is over. When mouse is over, you want to display some information, you can put that. Remember, title, it can be used anywhere. It is not only just for images. You can put in a div span also. Many times people do that. In a div span heading, anywhere you can give title. For example, see here, suppose you are writing some roughly, here I will keep. Suppose here I am keeping some information like a div rough. First, I'll just show you here. So websites are hosted on server. And I given a star mark here. And this server is kept in a span. Actually, this is just a simple sentence we are having there. Website hosted on server, right? Usually, I want to display some information about this word server. So that means here I can put a title for that span. In the title, I can say that server resembles both hardware and software, like that. That satisfies the client request by sending and receiving data. Something like this, I written some sentence. Now you will never see that sentence there. When you move the mouse onto it, you can see that sentence there. That means when you move the mouse onto this, then it will show the tip about this. Earlier, we used to use a concept called abbreviation. Even today, some people will tell you that. Outdated, those are all. So we don't use them. We don't prefer them. We have a new concept called title, right? Earlier, we have a concept called acronym. We have a concept called abbreviation. They are old concepts. They are dead. Obsolete. Obsolete means no longer in use. So the modern web prefers these. These are better, easy, right? So we can display such tooltips by using title. So syntactically, you have image source and pic.jpg. We have an alt image here. So, and we have title. Title is some tips about image, something like that you can define. So some tips related to the image, something about that image you can keep. As I told you that this is not only for that. So suppose we have a span, we have a title. So hypertext markup language, that is the title for the word HTML. So for that, I give a star mark like that. That means what you see on screen, only word called HTML. But when I move the mouse onto that word HTML, you can see this title displayed as tooltip. It will show as tooltip. That is done by using title. So image have three basic important attributes: src, alt, another one title. Next important in the attributes, so we have the attribute width and height. These are common already, we know. So defines the dimensions for image. The dimensions resemble width and height. How much width and height you want for image. Here one important point is that actually fluid images are defined by using dimensions specified with percent. Dimensions specified with percent. Fluid images are defined by using dimensions specified with percent. Fluid image means an image can adjust itself according to screen. So generally, how you mention image size? Usually any width and height we mention in pixel. When you mention in pixel, it is fixed in that size. But I want image in such a way that it should adjust according to the device. Then we use in percent. For example, I will add another file for you here, pic.html. Suppose here I am having a simple image. In this image, I am having a source. It is coming from images. Suppose I am using an image, some car JPG I am using. And you can see that this is the image I am having on the screen. That's the image we are having on the screen. I want to adjust the width and height of the image. I will give width as suppose 700 pixel, height as 400 pixel. This is the width and height. When you mention the width and height in pixels, usually what will happen here is I am resizing the window. I am adjusting the window. Remember, even you mentioned meta. Already we have meta, right? You see in this meta is already there. Meta is already there, but images are not fluid. You can see the image is fixed. Even meta is there. Meta will not work for image. Then we need to make the image fit according to the device. Then we have to mention in percent. That means now what we do is here we will say 70% width, because height is not concerned for fluid. Fluid means only width. So now you see 70% of width. That means it will be like this. And when I am adjusting the width of this window, it will fit accordingly. That is fluid images. On which device you are watching, according to that, it will adjust. You can adjust the height of that image also, width and height. So if you want, you can give both fluid. That means this is what 40% of that image. It will be like this. And you can see now, so diagonally I am dragging this, width and height is adjusted according to the screen. So images, why this is particularly learnt? Because when we learnt about fluid responsive design, we discussed that meta is enough. By writing meta, it will come. But meta is not going to affect images. Then for images, you have to specially define by using this. In many UI interviews, they ask this question specially like, so how to give fluid images? Fluid images because the images will not adjust themselves using meta. For that, you have to define in percentage. Syntactically, you have to define like this: image source, images pic.jpg, some width is equal to some 70% of browser, and we have height is equal to some 40%. That's how we configure. How you define the fluid. So this is fluid. You can define image source pic.jpg and width is equal to 700 pixels and height is equal to some 400. This is not fluid. That means this is not a fluid image. That is usually width and height. How you define the width and height of image. So we have SRC, we have alt, we have title, and we have width and height. Another important attribute we are having, align. Actually, it is used to align image left or right by wrapping the text around, by wrapping the text around. Remember, there is no center or justify alignment for images. Image have only two alignments, left or right. You don't have any center alignment or justify alignment. Usually alignment means left, center, right, and justify. But image have only two alignments, left and right. And the main concern is not just aligning, wrapping the text around. That is what important. Why? Because usually images will not allow the text beside. They will not allow the text beside. We need to wrap around. For that, this is very, very important to handle any content. So for example, show you some page design. Let's say we will take some website design, get Bootstrap. Actually, in this Get Bootstrap website, we are trying on some theme, right? Shopper theme and all. Suppose you see this is one image, this is one theme, and you can see this is the content here. Now, the page usually looks like this. This is how the page looks like. Now I want image right side and I want the content left side. We need to keep side by side. This is not grid. This is not grid because unnecessarily we don't use a grid. Here image and some text. That's what we need to display. Just beside the image we want text. Usually, let me copy this image. I will capture this image using a sniping tool. So let's copy the image. So this is the image part. Okay. Let's save that work banner, something like this. It's a work banner. So in this images. Okay, let's copy this text we are having. And let's design that here. Now, first thing is you need a main area. Why I am using main? Because it's an entry point. You see they have view pages, documentation from where user will start. I'm using a main area. In the main area, so I have one div. So this div is having another div. Yeah. So one div is having an image. Image source is images. We have work banner JPG. And in another div, we are having a div again. This div will have option like, this is having an option like class title. So site title like this. Okay. And below that we have another div. Let's put the class as site subtitle. And in that subtitle, you add this one. I'm just adding that sentence there. Okay. That's what we are having there. Now, usually there are some more buttons also, view pages, documents. Those later we will see, because buttons we will learn next level. Temporarily, you can put two spans side by side and you can design. Usually, now let's see the place, how it looks like. This is how the page looks like. This is how the page looks like. This is the original size of this. And where is the content? Content is below. Content is below. I'm adjusting the width and height of this image. So width give 50%. So that is the image 50% is here. The content, this is the div we are having. And remember, this div is having the alignments. Let's add let's write a class style, and we have title class. For title font size, let's say 50 pixel, font family as Arial, and it is large. So it is what? Site title. That's the class. It's large. And so for this title width, I given 50% width for the site title. It will be like this. We have another one. What is it? Site subtitle. Subtitle, the font size, we will give it to 25 pixel, and font family as Arial. And this also width to 50%. Then it will keep in this way. And we have margin top. Margin top some 40 pixel. We will have some gap here. So width is some 40%. Some more, it will come like this, like. And we can give text align as what? Justify. It will keep like this. We are using justify, then T. So let's say. Now what we need to do is, we need to keep this image right side. Actually, the image that you have, we are giving align. We are giving align. Align is what? Right. Image align right, then it will be right side. And automatically the text wraps to left. Text automatically wraps to left. That means it will become left. Why? Because already, what is the concept of alignment? Aligns the image and wraps the text around. Usually text will be either above image or below, not beside. Then if you just keep an align attribute, it's fine. Now for this, you can add some more options like, so I will put a span here. So you have a class for this as tip, something like this. And we have dot tip, and it is having a color, something like aqua or some blue. So blue, violet, something color is there. That means it is having a different color. So we are all other options your wish, how you manage them. That means this having margin top as 50 pixel, then we shift little down. Width, height, you adjust accordingly. Just only one point. I will change the alignment from right to what? Left. I change right to left. Automatically it sets to left. But when it sets to left, this content is not aligned right. Why it is not aligned? Because the placement, where the content is placed, actually the content is placed below. When above content moves right, the below content can come up. Understood? That means what is the concept here is, you have, this is one content and this is another content. Now if you move this content right side, automatically this will come up, right? That is the technique that uses, right? In that case, now what happens now? What happens here? This is the image and this is some content. Now if I need to bring it up, then it is already right. Now if it is moving left, how this will come to up? It will not come. Then usually where it should be, suppose I removed this container from here and I kept the container above. Above the image we kept the container. Now you see it is above. Now above, even when you give left alignment, it's not working. Why? Because already both are left. Now you give left, how this comes right? That means that placement will be depending on where your content is and where your image is and which direction you are moving. That means what is the correct alignment for this? Not left alignment. What is that alignment? Right. You give right alignment, then it will be like this. But see, it moves right, but it cannot come down, because the flow is always bottom to top, not top to bottom. That means anything you remove from top, the bottom content will adjust to top, right? So that is the hierarchy actually. Anything you remove from bottom, then nothing will adjust. I hope you have seen this kind of things regularly. That means when you remove anything top, the bottom will adjust to top. If you remove any which is bottom, no effect will happen to top. That is a general approach. So this content, what is the best suitable one? You have to keep it below, and what is the alignment you have to give? Right. Then it will be perfect. Then when to use left alignment? If both are in same container, you can use. Actually, currently these two are in two different containers now. That means image is in container and the paragraph content is in another container. If both are in same container, then you can see the difference. So I will show you. Let me copy this example for you first. This is related to what? Align. I will give an option here. Image src, images pic.jpg, and some width and height we mentioned. So height we have defined, and align. Align is equal to left or right. We can define the alignments. We can keep the alignment left or right. I will show you when this right and left will be easily aligned. First, let me keep this example for you. I will copy this example. Yeah, this is just the banner you have seen in that website. Now, let's see one more example here so that you can understand. I will copy some paragraph. So let's copy some paragraph and keep some picture so that you can understand. So I will take here another image align.html. Here I am adding a page. In that we have an image. Image source is in images, some Realme. So and Realme, and we have some paragraph. Beside that, we are having some paragraph like this. That means actually the paragraph is below. It looks like this. Now already its alignment is what? Left. Its alignment is left. And the content is here. Both are in same place. They are not in separate divs. That means they are not in separate containers. Both are in one container called body. Now what we will do is, for this image, we will give align as what? Left. Then automatically the content will go right. Automatically it will go right. And you change the alignment to right. That means it will go right and place. That is possible if both are in same container. If both are in different container, only one technique is possible. What is it? Alignment right. Right. So this is how you need to manage your images. First, you should know where you kept them. Both are in same container or in different containers. Then depending on that, we need to keep the alignments. So, and let's see the center alignment. I am writing a center alignment. There is no center at all. You have only two alignments to handle. What is it? Left and right. Right alignment you can give. When you are aligning the text around it, because see, if there are more paragraphs, then you will see the content will be below. So that means the text will be aligned in that way. Now, once you are keeping this kind of alignment, sometimes because this image is having some gap, the image itself having some gap. Otherwise, what happens? Your text will be exactly on the border of image. I copied this image. When I taken this image, I cut this image, I have some white space around. That's the reason it looks okay. But sometimes when you take a sharp bordered image without extra white space in that image, then the text will be exactly on image. Then we want some space between that. Usually we use padding. Image have an attribute. Instead of padding, image can use another attribute. We have another attribute number 6. Yeah. Image have other attribute, that is V space and H space. So it sets horizontal and vertical space between text and image, H space and V space. And you are using CSS means you can just put padding left, padding right, padding left, padding bottom, you can adjust. If you want to apply through HTML, then you have to use this. So syntactically, horizontal and vertical space for image, you can give image source, images, pic.jpg. So here we say align is some right, H space is some 50 pixel, V space is some 40 pixel, like that. You can adjust. The horizontal and vertical space between text and image, that you can control by using H space and V space. So that is how the image spaces are controlled. Now let's see here the space here I am defining. Right side you can see I want some more gap for this one. So I want some more gap here, right and bottom. Then I can go to the image For image, I can give the option V space. That is vertical space is 50 and H space, that is horizontal space, is also 50. Then it will set the horizontal and vertical space. We can set some space horizontal and vertically for image that you can do. Generally, many people have a doubt. They ask this regularly, like, sir, you are showing with the CSS also same, HTML also same. What should I do? Right? I showed change the font with CSS. I showed change the font with HTML. In the modern web development, we prefer everything with CSS. We just ask our developers to present the content and maximum control everything with CSS. Because the latest generation of CSS is browser compatible. The old version of HTML means HTML attributes are not browser compatible. In some browsers, they don't work properly. That's the reason the modern generation always prefers using CSS. Right? Officially, W3 recommends. W3, as per W3 standards, they say that avoid using BR, avoid using font, avoid using ampersand NBSP. Don't try them. Right? They are not good for modern browsers. Always go with more CSS. But important is everything you can't do with CSS. For an image, a picture you have to set. You can't do it with CSS. Image picture should be set with SRC only. Right? You cannot do that with CSS. Right? In such cases, you have to use HTML. And majority of the presentation do with your CSS. But they are the part of HTML when you work with some web pages where they don't use much CSS. So then you have to know all these attributes. That's the reason you have to learn about these attributes. What is horizontal space? Another one, vertical. These are all image related important attributes. So finally, what are the attributes we have for image? SRC. SRC indicates what? Source path. Alt indicates alternate text. Title indicates tooltips. Width and height, how we can make fluid? By using percentage. Alignment is responsible for two things, aligning and wrapping. Text wrapping also it can control. And space you can adjust with H space and V space. These are the basic attributes. Actually, image has some advanced attributes. These you cannot try now. These will help you later when you are learning some server-side technologies. Like you are a Java developer, .NET developer, PHP, Python developer. There, these advanced attributes are important. You cannot practice them here now. You can just know about them, but you will practice and you can implement them and use them using a server-side technology. Right? And many people don't know these attributes. Only at experience level, people have an idea of these attributes because they work with both server-side, client-side. People who learnt only client-side, they just know about what attributes till now we learnt. But at advanced level, at expert level, some more attributes are there, which specially people ask in interviews of advanced technologies. That means if you learned Java, .NET, PHP, Python and all, and in resume you mentioned that along with this I learned Angular or React like technologies, then obviously these advanced questions will come. Because once you mention that you are a React or Angular people, that means you know React and Angular, because these days every job related to web requires the knowledge of Angular and React. Mandatory these days. You know already, you have done some research or something. See, suppose this is a Naukri site. These days people are asking for Java full stack developer. Am I right? When you search for Java full stack developer, you will see that almost all the requirements in the full stack Java outline I will show you. They will ask knowledge of React.js. And so in some technologies, they will ask the knowledge of Angular. They will ask the knowledge of Angular. Every job, remember, you will not get call from any company as a Java, .NET, PHP, Python developer if there is no React or Angular in your resume. As of now, right? You will not get call from any company, right? That means these days, this is just Java I'm showing. Similarly, .NET, PHP, Python, in every requirement, you will find that. Because these days web applications are mandatory with the technologies like Java, React and Angular. Mandatory these days. Everywhere we have to use them. Everywhere we are preferring to use them, right? So the point is, people who are working in some in-depth technology concept, they need to know some more advanced attributes. Like these advanced attributes, very few people are aware of them. Good to know about them, but don't try to implement. It will not work because it requires some server-side support. Later, when you learn Java, .NET with server-client combination, you will understand these attributes. First attribute is cross-origin. This is very important attribute, cross-origin. This is called CORS actually. CORS. So, which actually refers to cross-origin resource sharing. Resource sharing. Cross-origin resource sharing. CORS, cross-origin. These days, this is very important to use for images, cross-origin actually. Not only images, for CSS, for JavaScript also, we use this cross-origin. Actually, cross-origin is nothing but currently from where I am accessing image. Suppose I want to use one image. From where I am accessing the image? I am accessing the image from my project directory. In my project, there is a images folder. In that we kept one image and we are accessing. But these days in reality, what people are doing is they are using cloud system. I hope you people know. All our servers are cloud servers. That means every technology is using cloud. All our projects are on cloud now, right? We are using the cloud concept. And in that case, what happens? We have all images in one server. And we are developing website in another server. Company, what it does is it keeps all the library in one place. Actually, I hope you people know, in real-time project development, entire software development happens. In real-time project development, entire software development happens in 4 servers. I hope you people are aware of that. You are a Java, .NET, PHP, Python, any software developer in your companies, you will have a sandbox server. Sandbox, or we call as golden server. We will have a development server. We will have a quality server, and we have a production server. In real-time projects, in every company, this is the environment. Every software development happens in these 4 servers. We have sandbox, development, quality, and production. Actually, sandbox is known as repository server. Repository server means all the library, whatever required for a developer, that is kept in this server. As a developer, when you go to any company, you will be given access to development server. In development server, what you do is you build an application. In the development server, you have to build one app. application is built by developers in which server? Development. And to build application, whatever library is present, they will get it from which server? Sandbox. From Sandbox, we will get the library and we will build an application. And very important, after building application, once you finished your work, this application is moved to quality server. In this server, the testing team will test your application. They don't test here. That means it's just like a product design. That means you go to any factory, in one room, the manufacturing will happen. After that, on a belt, it will go to another room where the quality testing will happen. Everything will not happen in one place, right? That means now it is tested here. Our testing team have access to this server. They will test the application. If there are issues, they will send back to development. If testing is finished, everything fine, they move to production. Production means now it is live. That means your people will be accessing your application from this server. That means client will be accessing your application from this server. That means if client wants some changes in application, we don't do the changes here. If client want any changes in the application, what we do? So we again move this to which location? Development. From development to quality, quality to production. This is the hierarchy. That is the reason if you have any of your friends, seniors working in companies, you ask like, coming weekend, we will go out for a party. Then he will say that, no, next weekend I can't come. Production moving is happening. You will hear this word from many of your seniors. They will say that production, we are moving to production. I can't come because when an application is moving from quality to production, usually they do that in the weekend days because from the weekday, Monday onwards, client starts using it. During the weekend, they have to move all the changes from the quality to production. 24 hours, you must be available as a developer. That means you have to sleep in office only. Yes, anybody, no exception. You are off on leave. You have to log in from your home. If you switch off your phone, you don't attend the call when production is moving, then Monday you will get a letter. Join another company. Simple. That's simple. 24 hours you must be available because next day morning he will start using and there should not be any kind of issues. So production, this is very big hierarchy actually. In software companies, you will face this. That means they say that, so Monday, Saturday, this Saturday, you must be available. Saturday, Sunday, you must be available. It may be morning 2 a.m., 3 a.m., anytime until the production is completely moved. Once the changes are completely moved to production, now you can go home. Right? That is the point actually. And this not regularly happens. Sometimes this will be monthly once, sometimes twice in a month, depends on the scale of the project. Right? And generally, this is the environment. Means what you understood by this environment, you have to understand a concept that everything is not designed at one place. We will have repository at one place, development in one place, and production in another place. Remember, even code changes when it moves one location to another. As a software developer, the code changes from one location to another. Do you know? I will tell you a simple point. I hope many of you people may know that. I will show a simple point that generally in development, our code will be like this. If condition and here true and else false, something like this. This is the development code. Means a developer writes the code like this in development. When it goes to production, here, this will be like condition condition and question mark true and colon false. That is ternary operator. You know ternary operator. That means what code you written in development, the same functionality here also. But what happened in production? Same functionality. What happened in production? In production, the 8-10 lines code is shrunk to how many lines? 1 line. That means in development, you may write thousands of lines, but when it goes to production, it will shrink. It will be compressed. The compressed code is used in production. We don't use the original code in production because production means live. Live means lightweight. It needs lightweight. You cannot send thousands of lines. You will see that later because you will learn when you are learning CSS, you will have .css, .min.css. When you use JavaScript, .js, you will have .min.js like that. One is for development, another one is for production. Minified means compressed. Compressed. That means the code also changes. That is the reason when you are an experienced software developer, when you go to companies, they specifically ask, do you have any production experience? That means we need people in production support. Have you worked in any production support in your previous projects? Because in this project, we will keep you in production support. We want people with production support experience. Production support experience is very tough. Production support experience is very tough because client, if gets an issue, you have to resolve immediately. If you take time, it will be so much business loss for him. So he may escalate the issues if you are unable to solve. Production support is the riskiest job in software development. Many people are not directly involved in production support until or unless they are very extreme experienced developers. Usually we call these people as not developers. We call them as consultants. You heard about Java developer? In software companies, we have Java consultants. Java developer is different. Java consultant is different. Java consultant is superior. Why? Because Java developer means he is responsible for building application. Consultant means he is responsible for supporting application. After building, if any problem comes, he is the person responsible for resolving. These people are genius. These are called consultants. .NET consultant, Java consultant, job roles will be there. They are highly qualified, professional, experienced people with minimum 10 years of experience in industry of the technology. Those people only can be in the production support because lot of business issues will come, right? Technically, why I explained all these points just to make you understand that everything will not happen at one place. That is the meaning of this actually. Cross-origin resource sharing. I hope you understood the meaning. Cross-origin resource sharing means what? Resource is at one place, your development is at another place, you have to share the resources. And in that, generally what happens is, when you are sharing resources, we can restrict them. That means we are sending one image, we can restrict them, saying that this image is visible, only you enter your credentials. If you don't enter proper credentials, we cannot show this image. We can control that. You see, actually, such images, how we can use, I will show a point here. Suppose I will open some remote. This is some NASA API. This is NASA API website. That means this is official NASA website. This is official NASA API website. API is a web, later in JavaScript you will use it. This is an official website by NASA for software developers. What NASA people do is they say that if you are developing applications related to space, science and technology, whatever data you need, we will provide free, but restrictions. That means they will provide you data with restrictions. They will provide you videos, images, original with restrictions. Restrictions means every day, these many times you can view. Every day, this much time you can watch. That's the restrictions they can give. For example, you see here, I will browse APIs. In that, we have some Mars rover photos. You see Mars rover photos. When I click on this URL, you can observe carefully. This data comes in this way. The data comes like this. This data is in the format of what? JSON. This is called JSON. Few years back, it used to be in XML. Even today, several API data is in XML. But majority now the modern is using JSON. Now in this you see they have one image source and you copy that image. Remember, you may ask like, why can't we download that image? They will block if you download. If you download, they will block. They will say that if you want to use directly from our server, use, because it is under our control. That means you copy this path now. Let's go to the file. Here we put an image, img. What is the src? It is not present in our project. It is coming from their server. Paste that location. And you can see that this is the location from where it is coming. This is Mars JPL NASA.gov. In that, at a certain path, it is present. And when you put these images, you see there is an attribute called cross origin. Cross origin have two options: allow anonymous, use credentials. If I use credentials, that means this is not allowed to everyone. Whenever anybody tries to open this image, it will ask, please enter key or please enter your password. When you enter, then it will load. Otherwise, it will not load. These kind of securities we can define for images using what? Cross origin. And you see now, I'm not using these credentials. I'm not using the credentials. Let's open that here and see. Like directly that image is present here. Open that. You see the image is present here. It's the image. This is a large image. This is the image. We are accessing the image directly from their server. And remember, you try to open 20, 30 times this image, refresh. Then NASA people think that something suspicious is happening. They will immediately block this image. They will say that please try after some time. You might have seen several websites like that. That means if you try refreshing or reloading the content, they will say that please try after some time, we will make it available. Right? That means now you see I'm putting some use credentials, cross origin use credentials. Then you see image is not there. Now this image will be there only when you provide proper credentials. For that, you have to write some server side logic. Java, .NET teaches you that. Right? This is the basic one important attribute. This is very advanced. Right? So syntactically, we write like this: image src is coming from some CDN path. We call it as content delivery network. CDN refers to some CDN path, sub server path. It is coming. And we have cross origin. Cross origin use credentials, or we can use anonymous like that. That is one important attribute. So you don't need to try this. You just need to know this, right? You just keep this in mind that image has a lot of advanced attributes which you may not know. But later you may have to use while working with different advanced technologies. So this is very important, cross origin. Next important attribute, we have decoding. Decoding. So it defines how an image have to load along with other content in page. So it have the techniques. It have the techniques sync, async, and auto. It have the technique sync, async, and auto. Decoding have sync, async, and auto. Actually, this indicates how image have to load along with other content. You have three techniques actually: synchronous, asynchronous, and auto. That's another important one actually. So what is this decoding here? So decoding is nothing but, for example, suppose we have some image and some paragraph. Suppose we are having image and beside this some paragraph. Some paragraph is there. Now which one will load first? That you can control. That is what the attribute is. That you can control. That means here the point is we have two options. One is sync, async. Sync means when image is loading, it will not allow to load anything else. When image is loading, it will block all of them. Until image is finished, it will not load anything else. If image is heavy, it will take some time to load. Then we better prefer what? Async. Async means what? Image is loading along with that other content also loading. Simultaneously both are loading. That is the mechanism. So which one is best? Async. But sometimes we don't want content to display until picture comes. Otherwise people have a lot of doubts about it. That means we don't want to load until the picture is finished. Content should not load. Then we will use which method? Sync. Auto means it decides automatically according to situation. According to the connection speed, according to image size, according to the content beside, it will decide which one to load, whether to load both or not, it will decide. Actually, by default, this is present. By default, the decoding technique of image is what? Auto. Auto. You can keep sync or you can keep async. You can add that attribute, decoding. Decoding can be sync, async, or auto. Three options will be there. Default, it is what? Auto. You can keep sync, you can keep async and all. You cannot see them now. That requires server-side logic. That's what I said. These are all advanced attributes which you cannot practice now. These will be effective when you go on server-side programming. Right? These are very important. So syntactically we write like this. Image source, some images, pic.jpg, and decoding. Decoding can be sync. It can be async or it can be auto. That's the image related attribute. So in advanced attributes, you have cross horizon, you have decoding, and you have another option. So we have another option that is importance. Importance. It sets priority for image in page. So which can be low, medium, high, and auto. Low, medium, high, and auto. That is the priority. Low priority, medium, and high, and auto priorities. Actually, we have an importance for image also. Images will load according to importance. For example, in a page, we have two images. One image is our company logo. Another one is logo. Another image is some advertisement. So which one first priority? Logo is the first priority. We can set that. That means for this image, we can set priority high. For this, we can set priority low. Then first this will load. After that, this will load. If you give same priority for both, then it will decide. Depending on its location, depending on its size, depending on the speed, it will decide. So if you give same priority for both, then it will take auto. Automatically it will do according to its situation, right? We can even set priorities for image. That is done by using an attribute what? Importance. We can give like high, we can give like low, we can give medium, or we can give auto. This is another important attribute. That is image. Image have SRC and image have importance. Importance is low, so like medium and like high, and we have like auto. Right. That is the importance. One more important thing you need to know is SRC set. This later you will see in CSS, SRC set. It is used to define a set of images. So which can change randomly. Which can change randomly. Set of images which can change randomly. Set of images. SRC set will be there. Actually, in one place you can put 2-3 images. In one place you can put 2-3 images, and those images will be changing according to situation. Suppose I am watching on mobile, one picture will come. I am watching on tab, another picture will come. Place is same, because when I am watching on mobile, small photo will come. When I am watching on PC or desktop like device, a large photo will come. Not only photo, different photo may come. That means we can put different sizes, different types of images in one place. They can change according to the screen, which you are going to see how to handle in CSS, how to use that. That means syntactically, we will keep SRC set. And here we put, so array of images. Actually, array is a collection. It is a collection of images. So it can switch between them randomly according to the situation. This is also an advanced attribute for that here. So we have SRC set. That is also important. These are all image related attributes. Usually you don't need to learn about them. Whatever attributes, the 4 I showed you, and many people even don't know about them. Just to keep you in such a way that you can handle at experience level interviews and advanced technologies. If any people have to ask questions, then they can go this much in depth about the concept. Usually not required for learners in the beginning days. These are not for learners. These are for experience, right? But you should be aware of the first 6 attributes what you learn. Now, this is all about images. How we can keep images in a page. Now, we will try some examples using these images. You learned how to design image. Flipkart product page is there. That Flipkart product page, now you can design this page. Code I will give here. This is the Flipkart product page. Product page code I am giving here. And tomorrow we will discuss about this template now. That means we will go into this template, get bootstrap. This is our template. We will try to design this template. Because now we know images. So we will try to design this. For that, you need to learn some more techniques. I will show you how to design cards, how to keep the cards like this side by side. All these things we will see. Tomorrow we will start working with this design. Okay. Tomorrow I'll continue then, right?